Hey everybody, and welcome to A Teacher's Wonderland. I'm your host Ronnie, and we are going to be talking about how to use WorkMats when you are teaching conversion to your students. Now, WorkMats are an awesome way for you not to have to plan. Let's be honest. I love using them in my classroom when I can need something quick and to go, but I need it to be effective. When you're teaching your students conversions, sometimes it can be quite challenging because you don't necessarily have enough time to find a question and solve it, so you need to be able to move quickly and swiftly. So one thing that we can do this, or one way that we can do this, is by using WorkMats. And I'm going to show you exactly how I use WorkMats in my classroom when I'm teaching conversions. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and make sure you hit that little bell so you're notified every time that I have a new video. So I'm going to show you guys this cool little picture. Bam! It's amazing, right? I know. Okay, so here is what we're going to be talking about with the WorkMats. So keep that in mind. WorkMats are used as tools to help our students learn and practice math concepts in small group settings. Okay, they are not made to be in a whole classroom setting, and that's a huge thing here. They're going to provide a visual representation of the information that's being taught to them, which is what that top piece is, and it's going to make it easier for our students to understand and remember the material. By using these in a small group, you have your visual plus small group lessons. It's like perfect, right? Additionally, these WorkMats also provide an opportunity for teachers to ask questions to the students in that small group setting, and it's able to help them throughout your mini lesson, or your mini small group lesson, I guess I should say. So why do we use WorkMats? Okay, well, first thing is it's going to help us break down the concepts that they're already similar to. Okay, it's going to come into manageable chunks, which we know we love our chunks, right? And it's going to be easier for our students to comprehend. It's our goals. They are also going to provide a structure for our students, and it's going to allow them to become engaged and more focused when they're using these small work group mats. And I'm going to show you with those little symbols. I'm sure you see them in the corners of each of the boxes. I'm going to show you them in a second of what they mean. So hang on, and I'll show you how that also helps you as a teacher and as an educator, because it is important. Additionally, it's going to help them stay focused and engaged. They will allow the teachers to differentiate based on the students' individual needs, and it ensures that everyone is receiving the support that they need. So how do you use them? WorkMats should be a part of an overall lesson. It does not need to be, and it shouldn't be, the whole lesson. But being part of the small group is what we are looking for with these WorkMats. It's going to provide direct instruction. It's going to give them some guided practice, and it will even give them independent practice. And you can even use it where you can get a grade for yourself, which is perfect as well. Sometimes you can use them as a reference sheet if you decide to let your students keep their page on a daily basis. I didn't use it like that. I used it on a small group, but I kept it in a little screen protector so that I could use it year after year, and that was always good for me. It's also a great way that if your parents are like, hey, I need more practice, here you go. You can use this WorkMat. They can be used as an assessment because of one of the questions on there is used as an assessment, and it allows you to check to see if your students understand. So I'm going to show you what the lesson plans actually look like and how they correlate. So this is the same lesson here. I have your objectives, your daily objectives, plus I'm going to have your small group lesson of what you can do. If they're a remediate student, here is what you would do. If they're on level, here you can do this, and if they're above level, you can do this. Now, notice, and I have these personally like sticking out a little bit because I wanted to emphasize this for you. Right here is your anchor. You're going to use this as your way to anchor them to the lesson. You are teaching them that this piece right here is the important part. I'm hoping you can see my mouse, but the top part is the important part. When you have the little two symbols of the guys standing next to each other, that's your buddy work. I love letting my students work with a buddy because it allows them to like hear how the other one worked through the process. And then the next one is going to be your independent work, and this is going to work independently on the skill. And then the last one is the brain, and they're using their brain work and they're going to work independently. You can take it as a grade, use it as exit ticket, or you could even use it as a data point. Sometimes you might have to get it approved for it to be a data point, so keep that in mind. Most of the times when you have your lesson and you have your page, what I do is at the very top, I'll show you the visual version of how they can follow through step by step. So in case, let's say student A needs my help, I can actually provide them with the help and I can say, okay, here's what we're doing here, here, and here. And then student B that's over here or student C that's over here in my corner, if maybe, they understood some of the lesson, they can actually just read the top. Wait, wrong way. It's backwards for me, so it's kind of hard. Okay, right here. So they can actually read the top that's found right here and say like, hey, this is what you need to do. And they can focus on that and they can figure out the skill. Sometimes on the top there, I'll have actual like step-by-steps, like I'll handwrite it in or it'll be there. Sometimes they just need the conversions and they can figure out what to do based off of this. So it really depends on your students. You can also see that we have, once again, the anchors to say we're anchoring them in. I like to solve number one with them and say, okay, here's my small group. And I will literally say everything I'm doing. So here's an example. So pretend you're the student and I'm obviously the teacher. I'm going to say, okay, 16 cups. I'm going to find cups. I'm going to make this super big for us so you guys can see it. There we go. That took up the whole screen. Okay, so I have 16 cups. I'm going to come right here to the cups, and I'm going to say, okay, cups, I need to go to pints. Okay, in order for me to go to pints, I need to divide 16 divided by 2. Oh, so 16 cups equals 8 pints. Okay, so I could also use this right here at the very, very top to kind of find my answer. But I show my students where I found those numbers. I will even go and use my expo marker because I put them in the sleeves. I will use my expo markers to circle what I'm doing. And I show them and I say to them, what number did I just use? I used a 2. Where did I get that 2 from? And they will have to show me at the top where I found it. So that one is super, super important for your students to see. It's just to see those little jumps, how they can move through the different conversions. Another one would be just like this again. You're just using weight conversions instead. But again, you have your anchor where the kids are going to be working on it with, like, you're showing them your brain. Then you're going to have them work with their partner. And then you can have them work independently where they're then at the end going to work with or by themselves. And that's their brain power work. And all of the lessons are going to match up to the lesson plans. And that's important because the answer key. I don't know if you're like me, but I question myself. Like, I really will question myself. So if I get to number 1 right here, I'm like, okay, did I do that right? And I did because my answer is right there in the bottom left where it says answer key for the work mat. I also have just what each piece of the lessons are and what are the anchor, the buddy work, the individual person, and the brain, what they do, along with all of my remediation on level and above level. Sometimes you will find that there will be actual work that they can do prior. So if they are struggling prior, you can actually give them a little small group tasks as well. Maybe little note cards, but they can convert different things. Hopefully these helped you kind of get an idea of how to use work mats when you're teaching conversion and when you can use work mats when you're teaching conversions. This can be found in my TPT store. You can also grab it off of teacherswonderland.com. And if you have any questions, you can always leave comments here, or you can just send me a message on Instagram at teacherswonderland.com. No, just at Teachers Wonderland. Good luck!